Hello, we're
Hello.
now live. So then, okay, we've been looking a little bit more into Vmix and the setup for live videos, and we thought we'd talk about it today and show how we've gone about setting it up ourselves. So then, let's have a look. We're also going to have a look at a different setting up a scene and using a different character for some ideas that we have. So Scott, you got anything to say?
Nope.
No.
I think okay, basically just to outline what we're doing, I'll just quickly tell people what we're trying to do with this show, and then I think I'll leave it up to you to explain how we're actually doing it today. So right, I'm Scott, that's Anthony, and together we form the company, the Digital Studio Digital Puppets. And what we're hoping to accomplish with this show is to basically talk about Adobe Character Animator, how we use it, and interview other people, ask them how they're using it. And if anybody's online and they want to post any questions to us, we'll be really happy to answer any of your questions. Now in today's show, Anthony is going to be explaining exactly how this virtual studio is working. So Ant, you want to take it away?
Okay, well, I'll try and explain as best I can. We're still pretty new to it, but like I said before, we're using Vmix, and I'm going to share my screen with you now and show you the setup that we've got. So, this is Vmix. It looks like there's a lot going on, but it's not too bad. Okay, let's start off from the beginning. We've got a scene that's made up of multiple. Basically, it's made up of multiple scenes. We've got a number of layers: background, foreground. We've got a little TV screen in the back, so we can have our interviews and play some videos. And then we've got each individual character being brought in by NDI. With Vmix, it's quite cool. You can allocate colors to different things so that you can separate them. Though I've kind of kept everything that I might want to switch between all on one layer. Also, what we've had to do as well is bring in separate audio. So let me talk about NDI first of all. It's real simple to do. You want to add an input. So if it wants to be a video or a background, a video or an image, you just go to add input. And then it gives you your options, so you can see down here. To bring in NDI, as long as you've got the NDI plugins in, I'll wait there. I'm getting some feedback now because I've got YouTube playing. I'm just going to turn the audio off of that. That's okay. Okay. Yeah, so as you can see, you can from one computer, you've got Scott's character up here, and from another you've got mine. So say if I selected my character, okay, there you go, and that gives you your feed. And there's a number of ways of bringing that in. You can bring that in via multi-layers, which is how I've got this one set up. I'm just going to talk through it. Like, this isn't a step-by-step guide, it's just a rough thing. If you've got any questions, we've got the chat open, so we can answer any questions you've got on it. But yeah, you might be able to go back and have a look. The multi-view is how we've set this up. So you can see each layer has a different element. So foreground, background. We've got the video in there with the logo in the back. And there's my head and Scott's head. So if we wanted to bring in a new one, I've just brought in that new NDI inputs. There we go. We can stick another one in. And if you don't want it to be there, what we want to do is position it. So you go to position, you can move that around and stick it anywhere you want. So to be fair, it's a pretty simple setup. So you can get rid of that one, put none. I mean, it gets a bit tricky because like now we've got our characters in with the different audio, with that they're not actually bringing any audio in. So for my one, I've had to bring in an audio input only. Where are you? Audio input. Selected my mic. Pretty straightforward. That gives me my audio for my character, which I think I've just turned off the audio for.
I can still hear you.
Yeah, no, I've just turned it back on. Then Scott's character was a bit tricky as well. What we've had to do with him is we've downloaded Vmix desktop capture, and we're using that to capture the mic on his computer, and then using NDI to get the input. So we've gone same thing. Go to NDI desktop capture, and then you can see in there Vmix desktop capture NDI, and that's what we're doing to bring in the audio. There we go. Oh, just seen that we've got a comment. No, the questions aren't just on to do with the stream. If you've got any questions about anything, we can try to answer now. If we can't answer it now, we can make a video specific about that. We're going to try and make as many videos as we can to help people to use the software and push it out, really. So yeah,
this is just our first show. We're talking about Vmix because obviously there's a lot of people who are interested in using characters, not character animator, not just for traditional animation, but for using it live on YouTube for blogging or gaming sites such as Twitch and whatnot. So we thought this would be a good show because this is a new software that we're using and we're really impressed with it. But we've been using Character Animator for quite a long time now. So if you have any questions in regards to any aspects to rigging, designing, building a character, feel free to pop us a question and we'll do the best we can to answer.
Yeah, we've seen another question by the Basic Pilot. We do have a price list. If you send us an email or follow to our website to info@digitalpuppets.co.uk, we can send you a full list. There's a whole breakdown of different. We've got from basic characters to custom, complex templates. There's a whole different range, really. It's pretty bespoke to how much you need.
Yeah, and we offer we've got plenty of free characters as well. So if you just want to, because you can download Adobe Character Animator for free for, is it a month, a week? I can't remember. But you can download it for a free period, and then there's free characters on the actual Adobe site that you can download. And we've got some free characters. Anthony will show you our page in a bit, but feel free to experiment and try it out.
Oh yeah, I'll show you the page now. Actually, here you go. We've got Puppet Store. And if you're on the Puppet Store, you'll see we've got a section, free puppets. And we've actually got an offer on at the moment where we've put our template characters for free. I think that runs out pretty soon because we've only had that on for a month. But yeah, they're free to download and have a play with and see how you feel of the characters. Yeah, there are two, just to answer Sock Tunnel's question, there are two separate machines at the moment. Scott's on a laptop in another room. I'm on a computer. We're both connected to the same network, but there's only one version of Vmix running, and
I can't actually see, because I'm in another room and because of the way we got it set up, I can't actually see the questions that are being posted. So, and when you do see them, actually read them out so I know what question you're answering.
Yeah, okay, that'd help. I'm pretty sure there's a way I can share that with you. I could actually even, I think, if I do this, like that, add input, bring in NDI capture, local capture. If I bring in, that one is it? No, that's not it. Try it again. I might be able to bring in the actual
You can use your little computer icon when you're doing your testing things out.
Oh yeah, that's what I need to do actually. Let's try that. There you go. Look, and if I bring that in, it's a bit small. But there you go. Here's a chat. But yeah, question: does the mirror Puppet come with a background layer? No, it doesn't. It hasn't. It comes with a transparent layer. But I mean, if you do need any backgrounds, like I said, just send us an email and we can try and help you out with it. Send something across.
Adding in a background is actually really easy in Character Animator. All you got to remember is that you can't import a JPEG as a background image. You need to save it as a PNG or as a Photoshop PSD file if you want to import an image for your background. But like Anthony said, if you've got any problems, feel free to send us an email and we'll send them through to you.
Scott, your face is getting a bit strange at the moment. Have you got your mute button pressed down?
Nope.
Oh, your lip sync isn't working.
Hang on. Is it working now?
Yep, working now.
I think it's because I clicked off to get the Skype window open so I could see the questions.
Ah, okay. The other thing we was going to show you was we had an idea for setting up a scene with different characters, and it's just kind of showcase a way of doing it, you know, type of thing that you could do with a live stream. So we've got this background, and yeah, we've got this character that we can bring in wherever he is.
Yeah, Mr. Chippy.
Hello. So yeah, like, yeah, it's just, this is just an idea of the type of thing you can do. A little comedy stream. You know, we want to put a video in the background. Oh. Like I say, it's still getting used to the whole setup of things, but yeah, we thought this could be a good way of if you want to set up a review channel or anything like that. Work quite well. Let's have a look.
I'm still working on Mr. Chippy at the moment. You can see his arms floating off a little bit there, so I need to fix that. And I often find when live, it's better to have the eyes on draggables because, you know, they have a tendency to sometimes float about a bit. So ideally what I find is to keep the eyes on draggable and then have them pointing exactly where you want them. And then, you know, when you're talking to the audience, just let them looking straight ahead. Because when they're wandering around everywhere, it seems it's a little bit disconnected.
Okay, let's so now let's see if I want to get off this one.
Do we have any more questions?
Does Vmix use alpha channels? This question. Yes, it does. Yeah, if you bring in a PNG, or like I say, the NDI is just running straight. We don't have to set up a green screen or anything like that, though you can set up a green screen. But yeah, it just brings it straight in with the transparency in the background. Another cool thing we haven't tested yet, which we are going to try, probably for our next video actually. Use it. Vmix has got a thing called Vmix Call. That's pretty much like Skype, but it gives you the ability to bring in quite a few calls. I don't know what the limit is, but I think there's a lot. And I'm pretty sure if you bring in a character with a green screen background, you can then key that screen and then bring in another character that's not on the network. So you could bring it in over an internet connection. So I'm going to try and test that out soon. But that'd be quite cool if you want to do an interview with someone else's puppet and bring them onto your stream. I mean, if you wanted to set this up for a gaming website, you know, gaming interviews and stuff like that, it'd be pretty cool because you can bring in other gamers or anyone else that you wanted to.
Just look at these examples of how cartoons are coming to life all around the world.
Question. Well, another question. Will this setup work using OBS? Yeah, it will. We haven't tried it with OBS. Like we had a quick play around with it, but we found that it's
laggy.
Yeah, it was a bit slow. I think it's more the processing power from the software. This seems to work a lot better. I mean, you've also got Wirecast, which is a really good software and is a lot more user friendly, I'll have to say. But once you get your head around this, I think this is probably we found this is the best one that we found to use so far. But I mean, by all means, give OBS a go.
Another good thing about Vmix that we found is that when we was looking into it, at first we was going to get Wirecast, and Wirecast is a great software for doing a similar thing to what we're doing now. But the entry price for Wirecast was about $400 and something or $400. And the trial, if you trialed it, it had a big watermark across the middle, where with Vmix, I think you've got, is it a month, 60 days? It's quite a long period, a free period, where you can use the whole range of software. And then when that period is up, they actually offer a lot of price packages. So there's one that's still free. There's one which is only, I think, like $100. But point is, there's a lot of packages to fit your budget, and that's why we went with Vmix. And also, we're finding it that it works great anyway.
Oh, Dave's here. Hello, Dave.
Hello. I'd wave, but I've got no arms, so I'm going to just shake my head.
Yeah, do a head spin. There you go. Maybe a blink.
Anthony's got a whole bunch of new moves just for tonight, actually. What new triggers have you been working on, Ant?
Oh, nothing special. Only just smile, sad face, and an angry face. That's pretty much it. I didn't get time to make a few that I wanted to do, but we'll keep adding some on.
Yeah, but just little things like small, sad. It's just.
Sorry, and I've also got my my working busy at work for whenever like I go off and start doing stuff in Vmix to get it to work. I might just float in there.
My 2D character has quite a few more. What have I got here? Love hearts. If I love something. There you go. If I'm finding something confusing, I've got my question marks. If I'm lying about something, I've got my, Pinocchio nose. What else have I got? Looking cool, because I'm the cool one. If I freak out, I've got a whole bunch of, what else have I got? Sad. Oh no, not happy about that. And if Anthony says something which I think isn't very good, unimpressed.
We have another question. Let's see. I've not been able to make the puppets wink by just watching eye movements. Every time I try to wink, both eyes blink. It may be there's a setting. If I share my screen, I might be able to help you out with this one. While we're on here, let's get this one up. Okay. I believe in face.
Oh, we can see Anthony.
Hello.
He does indeed have a big beard.
Yes. If you can see this in the face settings on the side, I think by default, blink eyes together is normally pressed on. If you uncheck that, you should be able to blink individually. I think I've also got auto blink at the moment, so it's kind of screwing that up a bit.
I find auto blink is quite handy actually.
Yeah, so that may help with that one.
Any more questions? I've only got my phone here and I can't quite manage to get up where the...
Well, I'll show you. I'll put them up now for you.
Oh, head spin is great, yeah. Anthony was working on another one actually where the top of his head pops off and a boxing glove come out for some reason. I don't quite understand why.
Well, the plan was my head was going to open up, flip open, boxing glove came out the top, and then I was going to add a draggable attachment so then I could punch you in the head basically. That was the plan. I was going to punch you in the face, but I ran out of time before I could make it. So it's on my list of things to do.
Is that what we're going to have to start doing now? Coming up with war triggers?
Yeah, damn right.
Make it like Street Fighter at the end of each episode. Are you getting that?
That's not a bad idea, actually.
I've already got it, haven't
I know. All I can do at the moment is look kind of sinister. But I can...
Trying to headbutt you.
How do you respond?
That's alright about that. I head spin you. Okay then, well, like I say...
Any more questions?
I think...
And also, once this show is ended, feel free to post your questions underneath in the comments and we'll answer you back, or if you want us to go into anything in more detail in our next show, we'll be happy to do that. And we're going to try and keep it that we do an episode like this each week at roughly 9 o'clock, between 9 and half 9 UK time,
We always plan for 9 o'clock, but it never normally starts until at least half 9, 10 o'clock.
But if you follow us on Twitter, which is @DigitalPuppets UK, I do put announcements on there for when we're going live. Give you a heads up. And we're also going to start trying to interview people like our customers that are already used. We've got quite a few. If you look on the corkboard behind Anthony, and can you duck your head down?
I'll do that now.
You can see above Anthony's head is a police officer in America who also doubles as a Twitch gamer, and he's doing really well on Twitch at the moment. I think his name is Ampho5. If you
I think it's Ampho50.
Ampho50. If you go on our Twitter page, you see that I've shared his video. Other ones, we've got Nibbles on Mixer, we've got Kazla on Twitch. That Red Monster, that's a really cool 3D one we've got coming up soon. There's Red Crayon, that is free. Go and download him. We're going to update that corkboard with new characters all the time. We've got some really interesting customers that we're working for at the moment. We can't tell you about all of them just yet, but once they start going live, we'll hopefully interview them and we'll share their videos on our Twitter page. So I think we're coming to round up now.
I'd say there's just one more question. Is Vmix on a separate machine? I've got Vmix running on my machine, and Scott's character's on a separate machine, but to be fair, with the setup the way we've got it, it would be quite handy to have somebody just running Vmix, making sure everything's cut in the right places and things like that. So then whoever's basically. So whoever's talking and presenting your shows, they can concentrate on that. Like I said, we're not presenters. We're just we're just showing off how it all works.
Anthony's actually taken over the reins of learning Vmix, and I'm being super lazy by letting him, so I don't know Vmix much at all. I know a few bits and bobs, so I'll actually be watching back this episode, because Mr. Shippy that you saw earlier, the hamster, that's something that I've been setting up and I want to work on, so I've got to figure this out and get it working on my own computer in my own office. But Ant, how easy would it be now if someone was to call us using Vmix Call? How easy would it be to get them up on the TV if anybody wants to give us a quick call?
But I'm quickly going to say, answer Bunny XOX's question. The next show will probably be next Tuesday, but we're not entirely sure yet. Well,
you do know who Bunny XOX is, don't you?
Yeah, I know it's Amy,
yeah.
but she's
let's see. What's the time now? It's 10:20. Amy gets to sleep.
Here you go, look, she's moaning. You didn't answer my question. Sad face. You're a bad parent. But what was she saying?
If somebody wanted to call us now on Vmix Call, could you get them up on the TV?
Yes, it's quite easy to do actually. Like, basically, I'll quickly share the screen again to show you how. This is what I quite like about it. You can add a video call. But simply just this: host a call, send someone the password, and they can call in.
Well, I don't know if Dave. I know he's very busy. I think he might still be at Comic Con at the moment, which I would love to go to. But if he is still watching, and if he fancies calling in, he could always. If he goes, what's the page he has to go on to, Anthony?
You just go on to vmixcool.com. I think that's it, and then it gives you a
password.
Yeah, so it's a really. I think that's really a really cool feature. So like, if you have got an online chat show, you can actually talk live to your audience. It's pretty good, and that's what kind of gives Vmix the edge over Wirecast. I think you can do it with Skype. But the problem with Skype is I think you can only have that one call. I'm sure you could probably bring more people into it. Whereas with Vmix Call, let me see if I can get it set up. Let's say if I add an input, Vmix Call, host the call, press OK. Then once that's up, there is an option somewhere. Oh, I can't find it now. But yeah, there's an option somewhere, so you can set up all your calls and then track them and flick between one or the other. which is quite good. But anyway, I think we've rattled on enough now. We've been. Oh, what there?
Yep. And you should have your computer thing up when you're looking at your.
Okay, yeah, see. Okay, just reading another question. What is the time frame for creating the characters similar to what Anthony is using now?
The 3D one.
Yeah, 3D one. The time frame's the same for both, really. There's not much difference in it. It can range, really, anywhere between a week to 2 weeks. Generally, if it was just a floating head like this, probably looking about a week, I'd say. But it depends on how much back and forth there is in the design stage.
Yeah, it does depend, because I mean, we've made characters in as little as 2 days. But oftentimes people want all the extra triggers, the extra emotions in the face to really, if you really want your digital avatar puppet to connect, because if that's why Anthony's added in new faces, because we tested this out last week and we found that when you can't smile, when you can't frown, it's hard to get across the emotion that you're trying to convey in a conversation. So when people get in touch with us and they want the person to look happy, sad, wave, that all adds time. But yeah, Anthony's right. You're looking between a couple of days to anything up to 2 weeks. But generally the turnaround time isn't too long.
Okay, well, like I say, I think we best wrap it up now. But oh, the one thing we notice about YouTube Live is any of the chat comments don't get saved into the actual comments when the video's processed. There is a way around this. There's a Google Hangouts thing or something. I need to look into it, where you can actually save the chat. But if anyone's got any other questions,
yeah,
feel free to
post them after the show.
Yeah, post them after the show, and yeah, or give us visit our website and send us an email. But yeah, any ideas for anything that you want us to talk about or talk through, we can. We're happy to set up on a show. I mean, we're planning on setting up, some shows on how to set up characters, how to add extra features,
Yeah, I'd like to do an episode where I talk through how I rig up our mouths.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Adding extra triggers and stuff. I'm happy to go through the 3D setup and how it differs from setting up a 3D character from a 2D character.
Really, it's not that much different, is it? Because
no, there's not.
Actually, it's it looks 3D, but it's still on a 2D plane.
Yeah, it's still 2D.
3D, and then you render it out.
Yeah, but it's just the steps of how to get it from 3D to 2D, which is pretty simple. If you know how to use 3D software, then you know what you're doing anyway.
Yeah. Right, yeah, so no more questions has popped up before we turn off?
No, all good.
All good? Okay, well I think that's it for show number 1. Thank you very much for those who tuned in and posted questions. And Amy, if you're still watching, please go to bed. Get to sleep, or your mum will be moaning at me when I get home.
Alright, see you later. Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Be anything you want.